Well, this comes while there's a stall in ceasefire talks and hunger worsening in Gaza. After months of partial food blockades, Israel has said foreign countries can drop aid into Gaza from today. Israeli army radio quoted a military official as saying, however, it has not been confirmed independently. As per reports, an IDF official has also said that the World Central Kitchen has also begun reactivating its operations in the region. Pro-Palestinian protesters have gathered outside the UN headquarters in New York as a groups warn of surging cases of starvation. Jewish and Arab Israeli protesters in Jaffa, south of Tel Aviv, are also protesting, calling for an end to the war in Gaza and to stop starving Gaza, as aid groups war surging numbers of malnourished children in Gaza. Meanwhile, many experts, as well as the United Nations, have warned that Gaza is being pushed closer to a famine. Well, joining us to discuss both of these huge developments in the ongoing Gaza war, Dr. Satoru Nagao, a foreign affairs expert who is joining us from Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Nagao, as always, thank you for joining us. Let's first look at diplomacy. Let's look at the withdrawal of US and Israeli delegations from these discussions in Doha over a potential ceasefire deal. Hamas saying this is a tactic, but we've heard from Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump saying that a deal is no closer to being done and Hamas don't want to get a deal done. How significant is this in the face of the humanitarian crisis on the ground?
This is, of course, the situation in Gaza, humanitarian crisis is serious, but at the same time, originally this ceasefire negotiation faced one very zero-sum problem, because Israel cannot live with the terrorists because terrorists attack Israel. But at the same time, the terrorist side, of course, the Hamas side cannot accept Israel eliminates them. So Hamas try to survive, and Israel try to eliminate them. So this is zero or sum negotiation, and both sides cannot agree. So that's why this is very difficult, tough negotiation originally. So that's why it is natural if they do not agree. But at the same time, if they do not agree, the war hasn't ended. So this means that the siege has continued and the humanitarian crisis is deteriorating. So that's why it has happened.
Yes, absolutely. But there is, of course, concern. There has been optimism from the United States and Israel over getting a deal done. That optimism now seems to have faded. Where do we go next, Dr. Nagao?
The problem is because of the humanitarian crisis deepen, and Israel cannot allow the Hamas to deliver the food. This means that they ask the US NGO to deliver the food. But in this case, Hamas worry about influence of the US NGO instead of them. So that's why Hamas could will attack them. So that's why it is not easy to deliver the enough amount of the food in the Gaza by US NGO. So in this case, the amount of the food is facing the shortages. So that's why the US and Israel allows the other countries, Jordan, the US, deliver the food from the air. So, but from the air means that it relies on the amount of food plane can carry. So that's why it is limited. So that's why still the problem has continued.
Yes, and Dr. Nagao, before we move on, let's look at that announcement from Israel that they will allow countries to drop aid into Gaza by air. Of course, Israel throughout this aid blockade saying that they're doing so Hamas don't get hold of this aid. But if it's coming from air, who's going to be monitoring it and how will it stop getting into the hands of Hamas? It sounds slightly contradictory.
Hamas can get some limited amount of the food from the air, but anyway limited because of the airplane carries only limited amount. So that's why this is a road. But if the land route is opened, Hamas can get more, and Hamas get more food and resources, then deliver the people and control the people. So this means that Hamas influence will grow. So that's why Israel cannot allow to open the route, land route. But so instead of this, they allow the air route, but which is very limited.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Nagao, you will be joining us later on the programme. Of course, lots of developments coming